it's Mary with the Painted Peach, and we are in a collaboration with Take 5 today. So we do a Take 5 YouTube hop twice a month now, and we have several of us from over on Facebook from the Take 5 group that come over here, and we do a collaboration where we show you some tutorials. So I hope that you'll join everybody that's in the collaboration. All the links are in my description of this video, and I'm so glad you're here. If you're new to me, I'd love to have you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell for getting notified whenever I am either live or posting something. And I'd love to have you join me and say hello, because I love new friends. All right, you guys, today we're going to be making a DIY Dollar Tree basket. I guess that's what we'll call it, but we're going to use some of these crates or pallets from the Dollar Tree. And then I have some tags that I got from Hobby Lobby on clearance for $1.74 or something like that. And I may be using some popsicle sticks, some paint and wax, and possibly some petroleum jelly, Vaseline, whatever you have. You could also use wax. It's up to you. So the paint colors I'll be using today are Almond Latte from Folk Art, and then I'll be using Folk Art, let's get it in focus there, wax. What, it wants to focus on me. There we go. And then I'm just using some Dollar Tree cheap Vaseline, and that's about it. No, this is Dollar General, not Dollar Tree. Don't listen to me. All right, so I'm gonna flip you down and we're gonna get started on this project, and I hope that you enjoy it. Hey, this is the first time I'm doing it, so if we goof up, we learn together. That's what we do here at the Painted Peach. See you in a minute. All right, so here are all our supplies. I have 2, 4, 6 of these Dollar Tree pallets from, well, the Dollar Tree, like I said, right? 6 of these. I did grab a couple popsicle sticks just in case we need some reinforcement. Here's my tags. They're super cute, but we're gonna paint over them, of course. My petroleum jelly, my wax, my paint. You're gonna need brushes and different things like that, of course. We're gonna start out by just staining all of these with the Home Decor wax, antique wax. So what I'm gonna do is get a paper towel, and we're gonna stain them that way. That way I'm not messing up 100 brushes in the process of doing this. So I'm gonna wet my paper towel a little bit. And here's a wonderful way to reuse these Dawn. If you have like tons of these, I use them as spray bottles. I just clean them out real good and fill them up with water, and they're great spray bottles. So here's a little tip for the day. I'm just gonna add a little bit of the wax onto my wet paper towel, and we're just gonna start staining all of these. Now it's okay if you don't get it all the way stained, because we're gonna paint over these anyway. At least that's my plan. You never know, we might shift gears. But it's not meant to cover the whole thing, you know. We like rustic over here on my channel, but we don't want it to be super thick or dark. That's why I wet the paper towel a little bit, to give it more of a light staining than super dark. So I'm gonna stain all of these. I'll probably speed up a little bit through this process, so you don't have to sit through a whole ton of staining. I might have to get a little brush to get into these little crevices. That's okay too. You don't have to get the insides if you don't want to. If you want to, go for it. Now we have such a mess, so I have to clean up and then we'll get back to it. I suggest you wear gloves. I do not wear gloves because I don't work well with them, but I hate the feeling of this wax on my hands, so take it from me, if you have a issue with the way things feel, wear gloves. It does come off very easily. I have a glass top, so of course it's gonna come off. I need to fix my camera, hold on. Of course it's gonna come off a lot easier for me. All right, let's get this hand clean. Alright, so we have all of our palettes nice and stained. I do want to give them a good dry to make sure that that stain is nice and set in there before we move on to the next step, because we are going to paint over these, but we're going to do a chippy kind of effect, and I don't want this wax that we use to stain it to repel all of my paint. I only want it to repel in the places that I put my Vaseline. And this, since this is a wax, it can repel just like if you were trying to do chippy. So you could use this as a chippy wax also. Just a heads up on that. We also need to do a layer of paint on these. I'm going to use Burnt Umber from Apple Barrel, and we will paint that on these little guys. And then that way we can do the chippy on them to kind of match the other pieces. And I am a very messy painter, crafter, everything. Use your gloves if you can manage crafting with them on. I just cannot handle crafting with gloves, so I don't wear an apron. I have sensitivity issues, I guess it is. Touch issues. So I just get messy. I mean, it washes off, right? It's all that matters. My dryer has had it, you guys. It's painted up. I need to get a new one. It don't matter, I'll just get it painted up too. Alright, I'm going to give these a good dry, and then we will go to the next step, which is adding our Vaseline to certain areas that we want the paint to repel. A chapstick works really good. A wax melt or a candle. It's just different types of chippy when you use these. I prefer the chapstick and the Vaseline over the wax method. It just gives a bigger chip, and the wax kind of gives small chippy, if that makes sense. Just a little bit more. So now what we're gonna do is get out our petroleum jelly, and you can use your finger or you can use a brush. I like to use a brush. It gives me a little less of a thickness, and I'm just going to go around certain spots and hit it with the petroleum jelly, Vaseline, or whatever you're using. Going around the edge in different areas. Kind of want to go around this part, and then I'm going to add it on the inside some as well. I'll probably go in different directions just to give it more of an authentic look. So I'm going to do that to both of these, and then I'll add some as well to the palettes that we stained. You don't have to dry or anything like that. You just come straight in with your paint. So I'm going to use the Almond Latte from Folk Art. And I'm going to get me a good brush. I've got this big brush right here. And we're going to try to do as little strokes as possible. It's okay if you do more than one stroke, but you just don't want to work that Vaseline too much so that it spreads out. And it doesn't have to be a solid coat because it's going to be chipped off anyway, and you want it to look old. I'm sorry if you guys hear my air conditioner in the background. It's hot here in Georgia, so we have to keep that on for sure. I'm not really sure which part of this is going to be showing or which isn't, so I'm just going over the whole top boards and sides of this. I don't know how good this will chippy, but we'll see once we get there. I know those little tags will probably chippy pretty good. paint on there that I can just spread over them. Let's see about the back of this. Let's see if we can get these stickers off. If not, I'll just go right over them. They're coming off. You just have to add a little bit of heat, usually, and they'll come right off. That's good. Much better than having that bumpiness under there. If I had my scraper, which I can't find for some reason, I could scrape them off. I don't know where it went. And then we'll just put a coat of the almond latte back here. I'm not going to worry with the stain because this is a little bit darker already, so it's fine. Paint it up on this side. I'm not worried about doing the chippy because this is going on the inside, and I can just sand it a little bit to make it match. It may not even be seen once you put something in there. Now you could have done all this without doing chippy at all and just have this pretty almond latte color. If that's your style. I know a lot of people don't like the old paint look. I just absolutely love it. So I do it a lot. If you watch me, you'll see that. I try not to do it every time because I know it can get old for some people seeing the same thing over and over again. And I want to try to show you guys some things that you haven't seen me do here and there. But this series is about building things for cheap, making pretty things for cheap. So that's why I chose to use these Dollar Tree items and the clearance items I got from Hobby Lobby for this project. And I just hope it all goes together good. Alright, let's start. See, you can see it already started. I'm just going to take a paper towel and wipe right over it. And I have chippy. That is the magic of the Vaseline. You don't even really have to scrape or sand. I sometimes sand anyway just because I like a little bit more chippy going on some parts. So I'll get my sander out and start sanding. You can see that color came through anyway, which is great because I loved it anyhow. So yeah. Now on these crates we might have a different outcome with needing to scrape. It's going to give a little bit more pressure because I can see there's more Vaseline on here, so I'm going to make sure I get it all, and then I'm going to take this just dirty it up some. This sandpaper I have on here has other paint, so it adds another element on there. So that is the two sides. Now, well, it's working. I'm just going to wipe over these to see how well that looks. If not, we'll grab our sander. I think I'm going to get the sander. Let's use this one. I'm just going to go back and forth one way and then the other. And I'm concentrating on edges mostly so I can get that worn look on the edge. So there is our crate. I'm just going to do all of them the same way. Alright, we have all of that done. Let me clean up some of this mess. I like to clean in between. So we have all of our chippied goodness here. I'm just going to take a paper towel and wipe away some of the grit that can be left behind. More authentic look would be just leave all that grit on there, but for the sake of things fitting together and such, we want to make sure we get it good and cleaned off. Take the sander to this side. Just around the edges mostly. Just show you what that would look like if you decided to do it that way instead, without any of the chippy. You could get the edges nice and darkened. This will be the part that we'll have to do some assembling, and I have not exactly done this before, so I am going to be doing this along with you. This is just something that is in my head to do, and we're going to see if it works, right? So I'm going to get a brush and some Gorilla wood glue. Just for a little bit of reinforcement, I'm going to put that all along here. And get them together. And then I'm going to use my staple gun to staple them together. So let's hope I don't split it. Let's hope. Alright, so now those are secure on the bottom. hopefully that glue, I'm gonna go ahead and put one right here in the center because this will be on the inside. And then hopefully that glue will help secure it as well. So we have a nice sturdy floor. You could do that with brad nails. You could just use glue if you want, but I wanted to make sure it stayed together. Now the next thing we are gonna do is build our sides. And this is gonna be the part that I gotta figure out, because we're only gonna be able to glue these to the bottom, but we are going to do the same thing and glue and staple them together. So let's do that. So you're gonna make 3 sets of them together, and you just have to make sure they're fitting correctly. Let's get the glue on both sides. And start our stapling process all over again. I'm not going to staple the outside of these because it's going to be on the outside of my basket. So I'm only going to do that process on this side. That's why I'm adding the glue as well. Once everything gets together, it should be nice and secure, I hope. But we shall see, right? We shall see. So we have 3 sets of tubes together. This is going to be on the inside. These are going to be on each side like this. And then our cute little tags that we created are going to hold all of this together. So, how do we do this? We are going to glue this with a little bit of wood glue and hot glue. I'm going to add wood glue here and here and here. And then I'm going to add the hot glue wherever it may be. It's down here on the floor for some reason. I'm going to add the hot glue there. And then we are going to make sure that we have it lined up and in place. Alright, then we're going to do the same thing over here. Get my glue. And you can use quick and thick glue too. I believe that actually works a lot quicker and better than this glue, but I cannot find mine, so we're going with the wood glue, which is specifically made for wood, and that's what we're using, so why not, right? Alright, so we're going to put this one the same way, right on top of that one. And pray that they want to stay together. Alright, so now we just have a weird looking thing, but once we get these sides on here, this should all be a cute little basket we can decorate and put things in. Now, these have holes at the top. I'm not going to add a spindle or anything. I thought about adding a little rope or something. I haven't gotten that far yet, but this is where we're going with this. So What do you guys think? Do you think it matters if I have staples on the outside of this? I know you can't answer me right now, but I think I'm gonna go with it. Only for the mere fact is I don't want this to fall apart. I feel like it may if I don't give it some kind of reinforcement. So I'm probably going to staple. I feel like that just came undone, so let me redo that. Moved it around too much, you guys. Again. This is what I mean by we do things together here and learn together. I probably could have done staples on the outside of this too, but you know, you can do that if you want to. I wonder if I should add a staple here. I don't know. I think this side's holding up pretty good. Alright, I'm going to add this here. And we're going to use the pressure of it being down there to staple this together. I'm going to have to stand up for this. Excuse me. Okay. So, I want to make sure it's lined up at the bottom. And I'm going to take my stapler and pray that it is enough. And it did not go through. I'm going to need a heavier dutier staple for that. Let's think about this. Let's just glue it for now, and then I will get my heavy duty stapler to get it on there permanently. I get some of this wood glue. On here, and let's just get this bad boy going. No! You guys, I'm telling you what. Get this other one on here. A lot of trial and error when you're building things yourself here. I really wish I had a brad nailer, that would work the best. This is the problem here. Alright, holding it down. Hope for the best. There we go. Woohoo! Alright, so of course I'm going to reinforce this with longer staples or brad nails or something decorative nail that can go through maybe. And here is our basket. Let's see what we can do to decorate it. So we've got these little side panels. I have some really pretty butterflies here from Essential Stencil. I'm going to open those up and we're going to see if we can get one on each side of this to look really pretty. All right, which one do we want? Let's think about it. Let's get this one up here. That side, and then I need one for the other. I think I'll do this little guy down here. All right, so what these are rub-on transfers, and once you lay them down, that's pretty much where they're gonna go on. So just kind of hover and place them where you want them. I'm going to go down with it because that is typically where your flowers would come up from the bottom, right? So it comes with these handy dandy little scrapers, and what you do is you just rub it until you see it kind of turning like it's whitish, like it's releasing from the paper, and then you will peel up and have your image on your project. So we're going to see if it'll work today. Yeah, it looks like it's starting to. Now, when you use things to make your board chippy, of course, it's probably going to not pick up as well. I probably should have done a sealer over this paint first. But just take your time and it should be fine. It's definitely going to have to be reinforced. It's moving around on me. Let me put some here. See if that'll work. See, it's working. Now it's not perfect, but that's okay. Alright, so I'm just going to take my plastic and rub over it. Give it a good seal. So there is our butterfly. I really need these to get secure. Alright, we're going to do this side, but this time I'm going to put... First, I am going to clean it off, and then I'm going to put a little coat of Mod Podge over it, just so that I have a sealer on there, if I can find something to put Mod Podge on with, and we have something for it to stick to a little better. It likes to have a slick surface and not a chippy surface, so just a little tip on that too. All right, let's dry that up. Now let's place our other butterfly where we want it. And let's see if this works a little bit better. Start rubbing. I don't know if it's going to work better or not. Kind of looks like it's pulling up. Just make sure you have a good sealer over your project before you start this. Take the paper. There are some bubbles in there, and that's fine. Just press them down. I'm gonna put a little pinhole. There we go. one needs a pinhole. All right, there is our other butterfly. And this has come undone again, you guys, so definitely got to reinforce it, but I will take pictures of the finished project and show you guys with florals and all of that. So I hope you learned a few things today of what to do and what not to do when you're doing these projects, and I hope you enjoyed this. All right, so that is our project for the day. Here it is on that side, and it's still coming apart. I gotta glue it better. Here it is on that side, and then what I would do is put some florals or anything like that. I think I'll add a piece of jute or rope of some sort to carry it with, or just for looks. But that is that, and I hope that you enjoyed creating this cute little thing, and I'll put a picture at the end. Thanks. Make sure you go over and check out all the other channels in the Take 5 Hop today. Have a great day.